Hey everybody, welcome to Texas News Studio. I'm your host, Mark Myers, and a lot going on in the world with Israel again. You thought we might have been done with it, but we're not, so I'm going to get you caught up on that, plus pretty much everything else that's going on in the world. Let me go ahead and set a couple things up real quick. So give me 1 second here. And while I'm at it, just a real quick shout outs to everybody tonight. Watching us on all the different platforms. We're up on YouTube now. We're up on Twitch and plus on Rumble, guys. I'm glad to see you all. I'm glad that you are with us tonight. And there's Clint Jans over here moderating on YouTube. Thanks everybody, wherever you may be, is moderating as well. Plus developments going on right now that things are getting ready to pop off pretty soon again in the Middle East. So let me go ahead and get some of the other developments going on. And first off here, as soon as I can find it, because I had this up here earlier, I'll just go through what we've been getting. First off, we've been getting reports that Netanyahu is going to be eventually launching another attack against Iran. Also, it looks like it could be pretty significant. But Iran is also considering a proportional response to Israel. They're saying it's their inherent right. Says the Security Council can intervene against Israel's actions. So we're watching that very close. Beyond that, over the weekend, the report's been coming in that Israel knocked out all of Iran's S-300 air defense systems. I'll pull this up for you here. Let's put this up on the screen. Again, thanks everybody for your support. And appreciate it, guys, for the Twitch bits. And that's from Astronia16. Thank you so much, guys. And we're getting closer to our goal. We got till Thursday at 6 p.m. To keep this channel running. But let me go ahead and get you. This is coming from the War Zone, so I can pop up some of these news articles for you guys. This is from the War Zone. Again, they were saying that Israel knocked out all of Iran's S-300 air defense systems. Says in this apparent destruction of the last and apparently last 3 Iranian S-300s paved the way for expanded Israeli airstrikes, is what they're saying. Says, and this is the War Zone's just a super good website to check out. But again, Iran is likely still tallying the cost of Israeli airstrikes launched on Saturday in retaliation for Tehran's massive October the 1st missile barrage on Israel. And again, among the targets that Israel appears to have gone after are Iran's prized Russian-made S-300 air defense systems. And this is according to U.S. and Israeli officials. It says putting the Iranian S-300s out of action leaves the door open to follow-up strikes by Israel, including larger-scale direct attacks. So we've been hearing about this for a while on this. A lot of these were taken out. And you can see some of the pictures in here right now here. These are some of the elements of the Iranian S-300 air defense systems. This is one of their annual military parades over there. Also, the same officials disclosed that Iran managed to bring down few, if any, of the missiles that Israel launched from around 100 jet fighters during Saturday's raid. Now, of course, that raid was called the Day of Repentance. So a very interesting article. You can check out the entire article over at the War Zone. But again, these air defense S-300s have been knocked out. There's not much left of anything that they can do at the moment. Israel can pretty well almost do what they want at this point. Also, we were getting reports earlier today that Netanyahu is not going to let any of this go. That eventually this would go for their Iran's nuclear reactors ultimately one of these days. And it says another another response against Iran is expected. So we're looking at that very, very closely. So let me go ahead and go through some of the other developments of the day. But those are the big developments that we're watching very, very closely. The other report that I've got that, let's pull this back up. This is coming from Zero Hedge. Says Ayatollah Khomeini creates a Hebrew language X account which gets suspended in a day, but I believe it's back up. I think we got the reports just a little while ago that they're back up again. So it was suspended for violating the rules. But I believe, from what I understand, I'll look at our moderators, but I believe that account is back up. So this was even, it says, it wasn't immediately clear which rule or rules have been violated, but the account's first message was a standard Islamic greeting which said, "In the name of God, the most merciful." So if you're looking for that account, you actually may be able to find it again. We'll keep you updated on that. This was another report that I've got here, but I want to read real quick here, as soon as I can find it. Again, a security source reports that the IDF is preparing to launch a new large-scale attack on Iran within the coming week. According to these sources, the operation's targets will be identified swiftly, focusing on strategic points, and this time the strikes are expected to be far more destructive than previous ones. Military experts suggest that the escalation reflected heightened tensions in the region, signaling a shift in Israel's strategy toward more decisive and impactful actions against Iranian interests. This is coming from I-24 News. Also, we've been getting reports this evening that some Telegram channels considered to be linked to ISIS published new threats against various cities in Russia and Europe. We're keeping an eye on that. And again, the Israel cabinet has decided to conduct another response against Iran soon, maybe within the next week or so, due to the earlier drone attack on Netanyahu's residence. Also, we're following, this is Channel 13 News there. The discussion last night was for many hours. So we're going to keep developments on that as well. This is also very interesting developments that I want to make you aware of. The next report in here, guys. This next report, as soon as I can find it. This is very interesting. Let me pull this up for you. This is over at Zero Hedge. U.S. green light to strike Iran harder might be given if Trump wins. Says the attack by Israeli warplanes on Iran Saturday was more limited than expected. We were on for a little while Friday night covering that, but it didn't go on as long as I was thinking it was going to be going on. But again, Israel hit precise Iranian military targets while showing its ability to attack its nuclear scheme or oil. Projecting air power over distance and attacking Iran directly is not to be taken lightly, even if this strike wasn't the ones the markets feared. Again, Iran is now vulnerable, its ring of fire around Israel extinguished. But the ball is now in its court over whether it will drop its focus on Israel or escalate, especially via a push for a nuclear weapon. Biden has already promised U.S. military aid to Israel as a quid pro quo for a strike that doesn't inflame the election, but after it, all bets are likely off. It says a U.S. green light to strike Iran harder might be given if Trump wins. It says, and if Harris wins, Israel might proceed without U.S. approval during Biden's lame duck period. And again, the oil prices have been down more than $3 a barrel this morning. Says we see the risk appetite has gone down for now, but geopolitical tensions between Israel and Iran are still unresolved. So again, this could be heating back up, especially if Trump wins. It may be heating up and probably will be based on what Netanyahu is saying as well. So there's a lot of things in play, guys. We're kind of waiting for the next shoe to drop, so to speak. But the Trump situation, if he becomes president, would even be more likely that Israel would strike Iran even harder. I'm going to go over to some of the other news today, guys, because we've been watching the situation with the ballots going on. I want to make you aware of this. We've had it up on our channel earlier today, up on Rumble and Twitch, but for those of you on YouTube, again, this is actually coming from Forbes. Soon my ads will get off here, but officials suspect 2 Pacific Northwest ballot box fires are connected. Says hundreds of election ballots were destroyed early Monday morning after a ballot box caught fire in the Washington state city of Vancouver. Clark County Elections Auditor Greg Kimsey confirmed to Forbes it was the second of 2 incidents of its kind in the area that police said later Monday may be related. Again, a ballot box at a public transit center was set on fire after someone stuck an incendiary device to the outside of the box that sparked the flames, according to the local Fox station, though Kinsey said that he could not comment on what started the fire. Ballots have not been picked up from the box since Saturday morning. Kinsey said hundreds were destroyed. Says anyone who dropped their ballot in the box at Fisher's Landing Transit Center after 11 a.m. Saturday can contact Clark County Elections for a replacement. Kimsey said that his office will be modifying its ballot retrieval schedule in response to the incident. Also, there is another ballot box in southeast Portland, Oregon, just miles from Vancouver, Washington. It was damaged around 3:30 a.m. Monday, according to local news outlets, but there's no information yet available as to how many, if any, ballots were damaged. It says police said Monday afternoon an identical Volvo was seen at both scenes, and similar incendiary devices, which Portland officials believe was attached to the side of the box, were used in both Portland and Vancouver attacks, NBC News reported. It says the FBI is investigating the 2 incidents along with the 2 local police departments. It says we do know acts like this are targeted. We're concerned about that intentional act trying to impact the election process. Says these are not the first ballot box fires to be reported this election season. Man was arrested in Phoenix on Thursday after allegedly setting fire to a United States Postal Service mailbox that had several early voting ballots inside, though police said his motives were not political. Okay, sure. So this is coming from Forbes. This one, the next one in here, this is a different report that I've got for you. This is coming from the local TV station up there. This is coming from KATU.com. The incendiary device starts fire at southeast Portland ballot box. Only 3 ballots damaged. Says an investigation is underway after this device was discovered attached to a ballot box in Portland early Monday morning. This is about 3:30 a.m. Says officers were sent to reports of a fire at a ballot box located in the 1000 block of Southeast Morrison Street. Says by the time officers arrived, security personnel in the area had already extinguished the fire. Said that it had been attached to a ballot box igniting the fire. Said previously stated the device was inside the ballot box. The Portland Police Bureau's of Explosive Disposal Unit responded to the scene and successfully cleared the device. Says there was a fire suppressant inside the ballot box, protected virtually all the ballots. Says only 3 ballots suffered damage, and elections will contact those 3 voters via unique identifiers on the ballot envelopes so they can receive replacement ballots. So they're saying 3 voters were affected. The next one that we've got in here, guys, as soon as I can pull this up. You've been hearing about this with the Washington Post. Show this up for you. It says the U.S. Today has joined the Washington Post and the LA Times in not endorsing a presidential candidate in the U.S. election. Of course, that's been making the rounds because of Jeff Bezos and his stance. And now we're seeing again the USA Today and LA Times not endorsing a presidential candidate. And this is not really a surprise. I assume, again, I got all these ads in here, but Nowhere Man Joe Biden reportedly blocked from campaign trail by Harris team. President Joe Biden is the nowhere man in the 2024 election race. The Vice President Kamala Harris team simply ignores his entreaties to hit the campaign trail at her side, reports Sunday suggest. 3 people told Axios the Harris campaign keeps saying they'll get back to the team on when to send them out onto the field, and then they simply move on. Of course, they view him as a political liability. But doesn't want to say directly they have no need for his efforts. Says Democrats and some Biden staff keep walking on eggshells around Biden's delicate sensibilities, according to the outlet. Says one person said it's like a slow-moving breakup, with the Harris team respecting Biden but doesn't want to connect a president with a 39% approval rating. This report here has been making the news today. This is from the Daily Mail, if you haven't heard about this. But Kamala Harris VP choice, no surprise. Tim Walz had secret fling with daughter of top Chinese official during teaching stint in China. Tim Walz had a romance with Jenna Wang, daughter of a CCP official in 1989. But it said her father would disown her with fraternizing with a Westerner. Again, he had a secret fling with the daughter of a high-ranking communist official during his 1989 teaching stint in China. DailyMail.com can exclusively reveal. So that's coming from the Daily Mail. Says he claims the VP showered her with gifts and seduced her at his pokey staff accommodation at number 1 high school in Foshan province. Says the lovers could not risk holding hands or showing affection in public because the Wang's dad was a high-ranking figure in the Chinese Communist Party who would disown her. So, of course, we already know about Walz's time in China has already been a source of controversy after he misleadingly claimed in interviews and congressional transcripts that he was in Hong Kong when the Tiananmen Square protest erupted in April to June of 1989. So that's been breaking as well today. I think the Daily Mail had this exclusive. I'm going to make you aware of that. What else we got here? Let me go into some of the developments again, developing across the Middle East tonight, just some other news. Keep you updated again. Right now we're looking through the Middle East, and it looks like it's kind of quieted down at the moment. The last rocket alert, guys, that we had was about an hour ago, so I don't have anything new with the rocket alerts to report. We have been watching North Korea. The foreign minister has been departing for Russia, and we've been getting reports also that North Korea is getting closing in on entering the war, the Ukraine war, and NATO would be ready to intervene. Basically, they're saying there's going to be no new restrictions for the Ukrainian armed forces on the use of U.S. weapons. And this has been reported at least from the Pentagon. Here's the one that I want to make you aware of. This is coming directly from Reuters here. No new limits on Ukraine's use of U.S. arms if North Korea joins Russia's fight, Pentagon says. I mean, this is big time news, guys. We've been telling a lot about the Middle East and everything else, but that's why we want to cover all these different flashpoints in the world, because this is some really big time stuff. And something's eventually going to give in this arena before long as well. That's why I'm trying to get you caught up ahead of time about what's going on. So again, no new limits on Ukraine's use of U.S. arms if North Korea joins Russia fight. Again, first off, NATO confirms North Korean troops are in Russia's Kursk region. The Pentagon is estimating 10,000 North Korean troops have been deployed to eastern Russia. Get reports up to 12,000. Says the U.S. again will not impose new limits on Ukraine's use of American weapons if North Korea joins Russia's war, Pentagon said Monday. Says the North Korean deployment is fanning Western concerns that the 2.5-year conflict in Ukraine could widen even as attention shifts to the Middle East. Says the deepening military cooperation between Russia and North Korea is a threat to both the Indo-Pacific and Euro-Atlantic security. Joe Biden says the development is very dangerous. Pentagon again estimates 10,000 North Korean troops have been deployed to eastern Russia for training, up from an estimated 3,000 troops last Wednesday. Says a portion of these soldiers have already moved closer to Ukraine. Says we are increasingly concerned that Russia intends to use these soldiers in combat or to support combat operations. And again, the Kremlin had initially dismissed the reports, but Putin on Thursday did not deny North Korean troops were in Russia. He said it was Moscow's business how to implement a partnership with Pyongyang. Now, one thing it says, the United States, however, has given no indication that it will approve Ukraine's deep strike request. Ukrainian military intelligence said that was back on Thursday that the first North Korean units have been recorded in the Kursk border region, where Ukrainian troops have been operating since staging a major incursion in August. But the Pentagon declined to confirm that North Korean forces were already in Kursk. Says they're likely moving in the direction of Kursk. They don't have any more details yet. So again, that's a big time flashpoint that could have far-reaching ramifications beyond just what's going on with Ukraine right now. That could happen on the Indo-Pacific region as well, or a threat to us eventually. So something we want to keep a very close eye on beyond everything else going on in the Middle East. The developments I've got now, hang on one second. Looking through some of the other breaking developments tonight. We got some reports here. Leaked docs show FTC is targeting Elon's Twitter. This is not surprising. Says targeted Elon's Twitter with a wave of regulatory demands right after his takeover. The intel briefing that we've got for you so far, just to recap what's going on with Hezbollah, Lebanon, the Middle East as a whole. First off, with Hezbollah, they've launched 150 rockets at Israeli settlements and military positions in northern Israel within the last 24 hours. There's been heavy fighting reporting in South Lebanon against IDF forces. There's been conducted drone strikes on Israel military sites. Also, potential successful mortar attacks on Israel command centers. The Palestinian actions, Hamas claimed destruction of Israeli tanks and other attacks. In terms of what Israel's been doing today, had extensive airstrikes conducted across Lebanon and Gaza. Specific strikes targeted Hezbollah sites entire Lebanon. Claims Iranian missile production and air defense capabilities severely weakened by recent strikes. This report's coming from Mario Nafal. Also, the daily reporting from Ortores. So those are the developments we got concerning the Middle East. But again, nothing's breaking tonight. We believe that the actions against Iran is still a few days away potentially. So we're not there yet, but something probably is going to happen again. Keeping a close eye on things. Vance is speaking tonight. He's up in Racine, Wisconsin. In terms of California, you don't want to be there for jobs. The jobs have been plummeting along with residents. California's job openings have plummeted by 30% this year, with businesses and residents fleeing high taxes and sky-high living costs. Says the state now boasts the second worst unemployment rate in the U.S. at 5.3%. Small businesses are throwing in the towel. Not a surprise. We are getting support right now. We got some GPS jamming going on in the Middle East. Not a surprise. We're watching that. Just to make this a little bit easier to read, guys, this is coming from Insider Paper. Again, Tim Walz had a love affair with the daughter of a Chinese Communist Party official during his teaching stint in Foshan that was so stormy it drove her to the brink of suicide. New York Post. Also, that's been breaking today has been the Joe Rogan video on YouTube. That's been suppressed. More interference coming in from YouTube, which is not a surprise. So there has definitely been reports earlier. Some also new developments right now, guys, that we are watching concerning Israel, Iran, Ukraine, and Russia. Again, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov declared this morning if Ukraine joins NATO, either Ukraine disappears or NATO does. Some of the other reports that I've got, guys, for you today. Soros-backed Philadelphia DA sues to block Elon Musk's 1 million voter giveaway. That's no surprise. Also, Israel is threatening Syria's Bashar al-Assad. It says you might be next. Fetterman, Trump support in PA is astonishing. Musk factor is going to really matter. This is interesting. Putin confirms Russia has invoked Article 4 of its Mutual Defense Treaty with North Korea. Let me just show you this real quick here. This is coming from Free West Media. At the BRICS Summit, NBC asked Putin about the presence of North Korean troops in Russia, suggested by satellite images released by Seoul. Says, he went on to say, photos are a serious thing. If there are photos, then they reflect something. Says the actual newsworthy part came later. It says Article 4 of the Treaty of Comprehensive Strategic Partnership between Russia and North Korea. Basically saying that the others shall provide military and other assistance with all means in its possession, without delay, in accordance with Article 51 of the UN Charter and the laws of the DPRK and Russian Federation. So this is basically means a full-fledged mutual defense treaty. So very, very, very interesting. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. I'm going to look through these developments in there. But again, that's a mutual defense treaty. By the way, if you want your quarter pounders, they're actually back, but no onions right now. That was the cause, apparently, with the listeria was the onions from Taylor Farms. There's Jacob over on Rumble. Good to see you guys. Thanks for watching us tonight. Hey, there's John as well. Good to see you over on YouTube tonight, guys. Glad you're with us. I was looking over our audience from the other night. We had about 10,000 views on our feed Friday night for that breaking live report on the Middle East with Israel and Iran. USA Today breaks from endorsements since 1982. By the way, guys, earlier I think BTC touched 70,000, so it'd been down under 70. But I've got a report. I think we're down a little bit, but I have to refresh it. But I know we at least touched 70,000 on Bitcoin today. Let me refresh to double check right now if it's up or down. I can't tell. It's a little under right now, but it touched briefly 70,000. So again, we're watching the Middle East. To recap again, we are looking at a strike that's going to happen again. Netanyahu has authorized this. It's going to be happening. It could be anywhere from a few days to another week or two away. We don't really know, but something's going to eventually happen. This time it could be hit a lot harder. And he's not ruling out eventually someday going after the nuclear part of their system as well. CEO of Rumble, YouTube censoring Joe Rogan and Trump interview is disgusting. Let me pull this up for you guys. Hang on one second. Of course, we're up on YouTube right now. So that's why we have all these different platforms, guys, that we got up for you. So we're up on YouTube, Twitch and Rumble. But there we go. I've not monetized our feed tonight up on YouTube, so I could, but usually that I don't get monetized anyway. So just most of the time we're up on YouTube, it's basically for free unless you support us through Super Chat or the memberships. USA Today joins Washington Post and LA Times, latest major newspaper to decline to endorse Kamala. Also, the Tampa Bay Times says it won't make a presidential endorsement either. Saying it decided months ago to focus on other races. It really tells you also what they think about Kamala now. And also a lot of the tech companies are just getting in play as well to basically welcome in a Trump presidency by trying to make good with him before things get going. Let me share you this. What do we got here? Let me show you this. NATO chief says North Korean troops are helping regain territory in Russia's Kursk. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte on Monday has introduced yet another new bombshell claim related to allegations of North Korean troops fighting in Ukraine alongside Russian forces. This article, guys, was just edited just a few minutes ago. So this is a fairly recent report that I've got. It says at a press conference in Brussels, which reportedly followed a private briefing by South Korean intelligence officials, Rutte claimed that there is intelligence confirming that North Korean military units have been deployed to Russia's southwest Kursk region. Says the Kursk region has been subject of a Ukrainian cross-border offensive which began in early August. Says, but now the accusation appears to be that Kim Jong-un's North Korean military is assisting in getting Kursk back. Rutte has called it a sign of growing desperation. The deepening military cooperation between Russia and North Korea is a threat to both the Indo-Pacific and Euro-Atlantic security, Rutte said at the press conference. NATO calls on Russia and the DPRK to cease these actions immediately. Good luck on that. Says today's Russia brings in North Korea next. It could broaden their engagement, and then other autocratic regimes may see that they can get away with this and come to fight against NATO. Again, we're getting the same reports from different articles again, saying that some level of North Korean military troop assistance is coming in. Pentagon now says 10,000 North Korean troops have been deployed to Russia for training before joining the Ukrainian war. The next one, guys, early voting. And we got good sources. We give you this information, guys. We're looking at a lot of good information from reliable sourcing. But again, with voting coming in, early voting, GOP leads in key swing states. That's Arizona, Nevada, and North Carolina. I've been hearing about these reports, but with just 8 days before the election, early voting data shows Republican turnout ahead of Democrats in 3 crucial swing states. Let me go ahead and put this up on screen so you can see. First off, Arizona Republicans lead by 77,972 votes, a significant turnaround from 2020 when Democrats led by 106,657 at this stage. Nevada Republicans hold a 29,634 vote lead compared to 51,144 deficit in 2020. North Carolina, a narrow 14,031 vote lead for Republicans, a substantial shift from the 327,878 vote lead Democrats held and had back in 2020. Again, Elon Musk was showing Arizona, Nevada, and North Carolina all showing a massive shift towards Republicans now versus 2020. This is interesting right now. This is just totally random news that I got for you guys, but I thought this is interesting. Says airlines in the U.S. are now required to give you a refund for a canceled or significantly delayed flight automatically now. The DOT's automatic refund provision went into effect today. So it's good news for travelers. So it's an automatic refund provision now for airlines. And they're required to. Just looking through some of the other headlines to get you caught up today. But again, Bitcoin did hit 70,000 briefly. I want to make you aware, we haven't talked about China as well. There's been the U.S. approved the $2 billion in arms sales to Taiwan, including advanced missile defense systems. But also, China has been training in the dark for surprise attack on Taiwan. Let me show you this real quick. China's army is stepping up nighttime training in a signal it's ready for surprises in a possible war with Taiwan. The PLA have held live fire drills under the cover of darkness last week, days after encircling the self-governing island in another large-scale military exercise. Came after a week after it's been stepping up military pressure against Taiwan, conducting its latest large-scale drills in the Taiwan Strait and areas to the north, south, and east of the island. Again, this is Joint SWORD 2024B, which includes troops from the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Rocket Force, represented a stern warning from Beijing to the separatist acts of Taiwan's independent forces. Says the exercises were closer to real combat than previous exercises, citing the emphasis on training at night and in the early morning. Says the official paper of China's military, PLA Daily, said nighttime exercises have recently been increased across different units. Says this may aid in increasing the possibility for surprise as well as undermine opponents that lack the proper night vision equipment or training. In response, the Taiwanese military also carried out nighttime training last Thursday, which included its first night live fire exercises. The Taiwan's defense ministry said the entire exercise was designed to simulate a surprise nighttime invasion by China, and that the drill demonstrated 24/7 the ability to defend the homeland. And again, we talked about that there is going to be a $2 billion arms sale to Taiwan from the United States. It will include the first delivery to the island of advanced air defense systems, been battle tested in Ukraine already, as well as radar systems worth an estimated $828 million. So these are some of the headlines that I got for you today, guys. If you're joining us on YouTube, if you're new, we are always running on Rumble and over on Twitch 24/7. So while you may see me just once a day, usually in the evening or when breaking news, our other platforms are always running 24/7. So you can always find us up over there and stay abreast of what's going on with the news. We run kind of a ticker format. We got the news, some music playing. If I got flash alerts, I put a bell in or a horn, and you'll let you know what's going on in the world. But the bottom line is, guys, we're looking for Israel to strike Iran again. You might have thought it was over with after Friday night's broadcast, but they're saying that there's going to be another strike again. We don't know when, but something we're going to keep a very close eye on over the next few days or weeks ahead, however long that may take. Plus all the other developments. I think Ukraine with NATO and North Korea and Russia is certainly something that we got to keep a very, very close eye on going forward. And again, your support, guys, as you well know, keeps the channel going. We have until Thursday at 6 p.m. to reach our Twitch Bits goals. This is how I fund our channel. This is how I pay the bills and keep things going. So it's really important that we make the goal. We're closing in on it. We're about 30% to go. We have again till Thursday evening. It needs to be in by 6 p.m. because if you don't, it'll carry over to the following month. So appreciate everybody for helping us out. Thank you so much, Stephen. If you're new, again, we use the Twitch Bits systems over on Twitch. You can help us out that way. That's our primary way to pay the bills. But all of the support, however that may be, is much appreciated. Fantastic to see everybody over on Rumble as well. Again, the notification system on YouTube, guys, sometimes you're not going to get notified. You'll have to subscribe, hit the bell on that to make sure that works. If you're wanting to know beyond that, you can just follow us over on Twitch or Rumble, and then you'll know. I'll post it up here in this where I'm at right here. It says text will be live at a such and such time usually, and then that way you'll already know ahead of time. So there's different ways we can get you going, but just in case you don't follow us on any of the platforms, usually it's later in the afternoon or more likely evening, sometime after 5 p.m. that I do these updates here, guys. Oh, let me go ahead and get you a quick update on the weather, guys. We've been dry, as you know, across the United States as a whole. Most of us have had little to no rain. We've had over 30 days with no rain here in Dallas. That's where I'm based here in Texas. So let me give you a quick weather update because you're probably wondering if it's ever going to rain again. And it's so widespread too. I mean, all the way up through Connecticut, up in the Northeast, you've been dry. So it's not just here in Texas. So we are looking at, thankfully, we're going to be looking at a pattern change coming up. First off, we do have a system coming in from the West Coast. This system out here will eventually be coming to the east. And then we got some low-level moisture coming in from the south, thankfully. So, as usual, you know the drill. You get the low-level moisture, you get a Pacific system or some sort of system in general, upper-level system, and that eventually will produce rain, which we think will start here. It could even be some showers, very light showers tomorrow here in Texas, especially the eastern half of Texas. More likely sprinkles, not much. Later on the day on Wednesday, there'll be a better chance of showers, some storms Wednesday evening, overnight. Could be even a bit of a severe weather threat. I'll put the day. It's been so long since I've even looked at the convective outlooks. So let's see. Here's day 3, and you can see because it's been like the last time we really seen any type of severe weather or rain, basically. So this is day 3 on Wednesday. That's a slight risk from North Texas up through Oklahoma into Kansas into western Missouri, southern Iowa. This is going to be the threat of some hail. Not such much of a tornado threat, but some hail, some high winds. Not overly high end, but just something to keep an eye out. But again, that will be later Wednesday. But generally, we're going to be wetting things up a little bit, especially across the plains down here in the southern plains, really from Wednesday through the weekend. Thankfully, we're going to get some rain. Here in North Texas, we may finally be looking at 1 or 2 inches of rain, at least for some of us. So there is a bit of a pattern change. The overall month of November looks to be fairly active. I don't see any big cool spells or Arctic outbreaks yet, but we're still kind of early in the season for that. But things will start ramping up and we'll keep an eye on it. Again, we're going into a weak La Nina, which typically keeps the temperatures a little bit warmer and drier across the southern plains, but we'll see how that's all going to pan out. But right now, that's what it's looking at. About midweek here, finally a chance for some rain. We'll keep you updated on that development. And otherwise, across the United States as a whole, we're 84 where I'm at in Dallas, 91 in Phoenix. Not too bad on the West Coast. 50s and 60s. The Northern Plains, not too bad either. 60s, even all the way up into Bismarck, North Dakota. 64 in Chicago. The cool spots primarily across the extreme northeastern United States. Looks like 45 up in Boston at the moment. Southeastern United States, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s across Florida. Not a whole lot of activity going on, even down in Florida, in terms of rain at the moment. But we'll keep you advised on that. All right, guys, that's kind of the report that I've got at the moment. So let me give some shout outs to everybody before we sign off tonight. And thanks again for watching us. Let me come over here for a second, change a couple things out. So again, thanks for watching our channel. I'm your host, Mark Myers. You probably know who I am after all these years. Oh, Rhonda's reporting some rocket alerts. Thank you, Charlie, so much, guys. Thanks, everybody, for your support. Rocket alerts coming in right now on Israel. John says, make it rain in the Northeast. Man, I wish I could. Tell you, it's been dry so much. We're getting some rocket alerts coming in. The Rhonda's reporting right now. Let me give you just a quick development on here. Hang on, don't go anywhere. We have these every so often. 2 minutes ago, the confrontation line. Pulling this up here. Thanks again, Charlie. Thanks, everybody, for supporting the channel. Just real quick, though, on the rocket alerts. This just popped up. And if I go in, zoom it in, and this is going to keep on going on just a little bit, kind of the typical areas that we've seen over the last year. Thanks, everybody, for supporting the channel. This, guys, this keeps us going. We've been doing this for over, how many years have we been up here now? 8 years? Over 8 years now. We've been doing this on the channel. We've expanded from YouTube. Many people have been around for a long time with us, such as Rhonda and John and Jerry and Jan. And so many of you that have followed us as well in the chat. Man, guys, it's such a blessing to be keeping you updated, letting you know what's going on. Many of you have been around for many years. Plus, we got the Twitch channel going on. We've got the Rumble. Rumble, believe it or not, guys, I got a little bit of news. The Rumble channel's been up for just a little over a year. We started live streaming continuously on Rumble about a year ago. And now, believe it or not, in a year's time, because I haven't mentioned this for a while, we are at 5,003 followers right now. So we are definitely growing on Rumble. And maybe this year, this time next year, we might be closing on 10,000 on Rumble. So Rumble is growing tremendously because we're a little bit more on the conservative side, obviously, Christian. But we like to get you solid news reporting, let you know what's going on in the world. And we're going to continue doing that. I'm going to be around for a long time to come and keep you updated on these developments. Let me make sure the alert is easy. Oh, there it is. Hang on 1 second. It's a little hard to see right in there, so give me 1 second. That's not it. Oh. There we go. I really appreciate it, guys. This is just very... And thanks, everybody, for your generosity and kindness. Thank you, John, so much. This is a great crowd. Keeps our channel going and keeps us going. We're at 74%. We're getting closer to our goal. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks to John, being John over here. Thanks to Charlie tonight. Thanks to Rhonda. Thanks to Estrania. Thanks to Stephen. Whoever else I missed, there's Stephen again. Thank you, guys, so much. Really, really appreciate it. Oh, Jan wants to know the Chloe the cat update. Chloe the cat is doing well. She's in the back room right now, taking a nap. So Chloe's fine. The weather is fine here in Dallas. Pretty mild overall. And I'm glad you're joining us and with us tonight, guys. Thank you, John. Being John, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. for helping us out, keeping us going here. We're at 80% right now. I feel like an auction. I feel like we're doing an auction right now. Thanks again. These numbers should update. Does that just update right there? Thank you guys so much. Yeah, there we go. I thought it was updating. Woohoo tonight. Yes. Kaboom. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Just overwhelmed with your... Oh, we're at... This is great. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. The channel, we all appreciate it, guys. There's so much. We're getting close. So anyway, that's how we do it. Everybody, I think most everybody knows how this works. So that's how I do it. Keep the channel going. We've decided that a certain amount of Twitch bits every month, and that covers the bills. And that's how I do it. And of course, like all these platforms, all these platforms, they pay out once a month. So Twitch usually pays out on the 15th of the month. YouTube, I think, is a little like around the 20th of the month. Thank you, Nip Twitch. Thank you, guys. 98%. And Rumble's at the end of the first of the month as well. So it depends. So that's how they all pay once a month. So we wrap this up now or by the end of the week. Then the paycheck comes at next month on the 15th. Just to let you know how that all works. So thanks, guys. That's very, very kind, generous of you. We made it happen tonight, basically, guys. Thank you so much. 88,204, 98%. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Rhonda, like I said, thank you so much for your donations and keeping us going here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Appreciate the community effort. Great group of crowd. Great group of folks here. Great crowd. 98.6% right now, 88,744. Great crowd. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying with us, staying with me all these years, and keeping us going. We've been, it's great to be able to do this and let you know what's going on in the world with independent media as well. Thank you, guys. Much love, mods love. Thank you, guys. There's Hilly in here tonight over on YouTube. Good to see you as well. Kathy is over on YouTube. Jerry, good to see you. And then over on our Rumble platform tonight, there's Mean Bodine. Good to see you. Deep South in here tonight. There's FB 1231. I'm glad to come, Lord Jesus 1977. I'm glad everybody's with us tonight. Thank you so much. For being with us. And I hope you like, again, the reporting we're doing. It's fantastic. I want to let you know that we've been keeping an eye on the Middle East. We wanted to get you caught up of the latest developments. I've been scanning through the headlines. By the way, Trump right now is holding a campaign rally. This is in Georgia right now. This is the Georgia Tech campus that he's at right now in Atlanta. So I want to make you aware of that. Also, Jeff Bezos cites media credibility concerns as the reason for the Washington Post refraining from endorsing in the upcoming race, emphasizing the importance of tackling this credibility gap. First Squawk is reporting that. That just broke seconds ago on that. Here's something here from a breaking report that I've got. Look at this, guys. Let me show you this. Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you all. This makes me feel really good, guys. I really enjoy doing this. It's a blessing to be with you all every night because I'm by myself here in this house. So believe it or not, this is my little world to talk to friends and be able to let you know what's going on. So let me get you this quick report, though. Look at what Bezos is saying here real quick. Oh, we got some more booms. I don't have the audio up on that. Sorry. But let me show you this. Look at this. Just in, the hard truth. Americans don't trust the news media, writes Jeff Bezos in the Washington Post. No surprise. That just popped. Oh, somebody just... Oh, thanks. And thanks, John, for gifting our subs to viewers as well. Like that just popped up as well. Thanks. Really appreciate that. It helps out folks. So thank you very much for that. We were at 99.72% on the Twitch bits goals, 89,744. So just about there for all practical purposes, guys. Thank you so much. What else do we got in here? Thank you guys. Really, really appreciate this community effort. And that's why we got all these different platforms. Like I said before, we got it on Twitch for you. We're up on Rumble. We're up on YouTube. We're even over on Twitter X. As a matter of fact, I haven't shown you this in a while. Let me make sure we're still up. There we go. I mentioned to share this with you all the other day, guys, but let me show you this. Some of you may or may not be aware, but we're on Twitter X as well. Been growing a little bit. We have 4,947 followers. If you notice, I just noticed this the other day, but where it says the live Texas News Studio, that's what it means. It's live. And thanks, 99.83% now. Thanks, Stephen, for that. I wanted to show you the fact that you can watch us even on Twitter. Twitter X looks. So if we click on, you could just click on the icon, boom, and there you're going to see us there. You see? Kind of cool. Of course, we're going to go in and we're going to go into the mirror look here in a second, so I'm going to take that off. But you get the idea. So I made it so that that there's a lot of different ways that you can always watch us. And the only platform where I can't keep us on 24/7 is YouTube. All the other platforms are streaming 24/7 from my Dallas center here. So we're always up and running. There's Muntz. Good to see you. Guys, thank you. Thank you, guys. There's a lot of you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you. Also, I just mentioned, Clint. Appreciate it, Clint. Thank you very much over on YouTube, guys. Thank you, guys, so much for staying with us and being with us all these years. There's Bri. Oh, Bri wasn't, no, Chloe. Chloe the cat, like I said, Chloe's doing well. She's somewhere. She used to come up in here, as you remember, and get up on my desk, but she's not done that in a while, so I don't really know. Hey, Debbie D, 101%, we did it. Thanks, guys. We are done. We made our goal. We're good to go. Thank you very, very much. We did our goal. That pays the bills here at TNS, at least for another month. And then we'll just start it all over again, so you get the idea. But I do appreciate it, and it really makes a difference. It really does cover my bills, and really, this is all in fact, when all this, I mean, this is real tangible of helping independent creators. Because everybody that's independent, we all know how it is. You start off a channel, and it's very difficult, especially the lower, we have some viewers, but it's harder when you have a lower viewership than really way up there. But we're growing. Thanks again. Thank you very, very much, guys. Thank you. And all the platforms, guys, I cannot thank you enough for your kindness and helping us out. And like Jacob is saying over here on Rumble, guys, the sharing of information, every platform has got different. Y'all do a great job of sharing news, communicating with everybody, just being friendly, being encouraging as well. I've always wanted everybody to feel welcomed on our platforms. As long as you're reasonable with everybody, you're going to stay. We're not going to kick you off unless it's profanity or just being a jerk. Basically, you're going to be, even on Twitch, if you just obey by the rules, you'll be fine. So we always make it, I want everybody to feel welcomed, and we can share a lot of good information, pass it along. So if I'm not around, we can still get that information out for you. And then I can come on, usually in the evenings, like I said, and get you these updates. And that if I'm not up on screen, as you all know, that I'm working behind the scene. That's the reason these Twitch bits pay as well, so that I can take my afternoons and evenings off with y'all and be doing these updates, the flash alerts, the music, the bells and the whistles and all that. So that pays for all that. So you got somebody working behind the scenes and doing it that way. So that's the reason I asked for that, to be able to do all what we do and run it 24/7. So again, I'm just very thankful for that. Thank you so much. thanks again, Stephen. Like I said, everybody, appreciate it. Yeah, John. Yeah, the blood pressure, yeah, it can get up a little bit when you're sweating things out. We're fine. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Beyond that, like I said, we had the big event on Friday, and we're just going to keep on monitoring. Again, the flashpoints that I can see beyond the Middle East is what's going on with NATO and Ukraine and North Korea. Something could, I mean, that could really pop off at any moment. Let me see if we got anything in terms of, I haven't done this in a while. Hang on. Where is it? Let me pull this up. This is not what I want. Hang on. Let's look at the Ukraine map real quick. Oh, it's not popping up. I don't know why it's not. Having some alert problems here. Let me try this again. There it is. I knew it would work eventually. Ukraine map right now is not much going on. We've had nights, though, when we've been getting, you know, the reports of ballistic missiles inbound, Polish scrambling fighter jets, but not that much at the moment. Let's go over next to the ADSB. Pull that up for you real quick. Actually, I did have ADSB. Only to get you an idea of the air traffic across the Middle East. The air traffic right now is, there is air traffic in Iran right now, as you can see. Not a lot, but there's some a little bit south of Tehran at the moment. And along the border, of course, with Iraq and Iran itself. But nothing at the moment to be overly concerned about. We've had these nights, though, when traffic starts clearing out. I'm looking at commercial traffic as well, because we're not going to be able to see military aircraft, but we can take a look at the commercial air traffic. If that starts clearing out, sometimes that's an indication that something could be up, but I don't see anything like that at the moment. Haven't done this in a while. The earthquake 3D map. Haven't shown this to you all in a while. The last 7 days, there have been a total of, let me just refresh this, just double check, make sure those numbers are right. On the earthquake maps, total of 73 earthquakes, the largest being 6.2. So it's kind of been quiet in the earthquake realm so far. The smallest has been a 4.5. The average has been a 4.6. So these are all the different earthquakes scrolling around the world right now. But the largest, believe it or not, it's just been a 6.2. And we get so used to these high-end events that if it calms down a little bit, you know, we don't think much of it. The other thing was, I was looking at the solar storms. Look at that real quick. Let me look at the solar storm. Hang on, because we had something that could be pretty intense. Here we go. I was looking to see if we had something in here. Okay, I don't have anything recent to report on the solar storms. We've had a lot of solar storm activity, but I was looking at something extremely recent, and I don't see anything like that at the moment. If one of our mods has something else to share on that, there was some talk that there could be something else, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. Alex Jones, Democratic establishment now quietly preparing for a Trump win despite massive evidence. So that watching the deep state as well. But again, the bottom line is I'm getting more and more reports of, it looks like that, you know, it looks good right now for those of you that are supporting Trump, that this so far is looking to be a pretty good sign. More talk also of artificial intelligence tonight, guys. And a couple of things. One is I've had reports that your computer now there can be controlled by AI. And also, Apple on Monday rolled out its first set of artificial intelligence features dubbed Apple Intelligence across its premium iPhone, iPad, and Mac devices, marking the tech giant's major push into generative AI. But I also had the report on the computer. Hang on. I saw a video earlier that you can download this software. That's Anthropic's new computer use of AI. This is going to be using the Claude 3.5 Sonnet tool. And it can use a computer just like a human would, which would open up a lot of possibilities. So that's, you got to download some software, but it basically, I've seen some of the demos, and actually would take over your computer. It could adjust and work on spreadsheets. Pretty amazing. But it can, you can do it to view and analyze the computer screen. It will, it'll move the cursor around for you. It'll click buttons for you. It'll click on buttons to interface elements. It will input text and commands. It will capture screenshots. It can use various software applications and websites. It could do assistant work like scheduling and data entry. So that's going on as well. If you've been hearing the reports lately about the computer and the AI taking over, well, that's what it means, what they're talking about so far. So you can download this software, put the AI basically into it or whatever, and it would run your computer to do some tasks for you. Not totally, but some tasks from what I gather. But that's coming with the Anthropic. And then along with the AI and Apple phone. So this is really changing, guys. The world that we're in is changing very, very fast in our world. Jerry says, I'll download it with a flat rock. Hilly says, can AI cut my grass? Maybe so. Probably with the electric lawnmower, it probably will. I mean, wouldn't be surprised. This report here we just talked about. So I've been covering everything. Again, the Bitcoin. Oh, look, I've looked at it. It's 70,000 right now. Bitcoin's up. We've been getting a lot of reports of, again, the buying behind the scenes as the players don't want you to buy it, but eventually it's been going up 70,000 right now. So I think by next year we might be looking at over 100,000. 2025. I wanted to show you this other report. This one is about just the quick report from Zero Hedge on the Washington Post. After colossal exodus of subscribers, Washington boss Bezos explains the hard truth about not endorsing Kamala. And I'm going to read that to you, but I wanted to pop this up here. Hang on. Okay. Just a quick. It says Jeff Bezos, which we just saw, has penned an explainer for his decision to not allow the liberal rag to endorse Kamala. It says the hard truth: Americans don't trust the news media. The credibility gap can be bridged by independence. He goes on along about it, but says our profession is now the least trusted of all. Something we are doing is clearly not working. So a pretty interesting long article here. Along with the other ones as well. And here's the Washington Post, again, has mostly endorsed Democrats for nearly a century, with only 3 Republicans since 1928. Thomas Dewey, 1948. Eisenhower, 1952 and 56. Is that, oh, let's see, two. Well, I guess that would have been, that's it. They endorsed Walter Mondale in 1984. Cancel Washington Post subscription has gone parabolic nationwide since the weekend. Most cancellations are based in the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia. Look at that. Look at that. All these breakouts right now. Washington Post, Amazon, Washington Post, how to cancel Washington Post, Amazon Prime. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. Again, that's over at Zero Hedge if you want to check it out over there. Ron is reporting again. We've had all these wildfires tonight, guys. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick here. Lots of fires going on across the country, and this one's up in Oklahoma. I want to make you aware of this because you're not the only one, like John was talking about up in the Northeast, but down here in not only Texas, but in Oklahoma, the Rush Fire is 12,500 acres right now. There's 33 engines in use along with 6 bulldozers, 1 helicopter, 2 fixed air tankers, 8 water tenders, and 159 people assigned to this fire. This is in the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge. So there's been a lot of fires in different parts of the United States in the last month. All right, what else? Just to recap, tonight Trump is holding a rally in Atlanta. I could get the audio, but I wouldn't be able to put it up on YouTube, guys, so I can't do that. We could probably do it with other platforms, but not like that. I have to be really careful about that, even audio, so just can't do a lot of that. Looking through our other news sources tonight. We had a rocket alert about 27 minutes ago. Joe Truzman earlier said that someone stole a Hezbollah Toyota truck armed with a rocket launcher from a parking lot in northern Israel. Two suspects are in custody. Let me show you this real quick. This is over in Israel again, northern Israel. This was a Hezbollah Toyota truck armed with a rocket launcher. Yeah, it was actually seized in southern Lebanon, by the Israeli military. Oh, wow. Well, talking about AI and everything else, yes. Manicures now are going robotic. Look at this. Hang on. Still get to pick the color, though. This is coming from Marianofa. Look at this. Look at that. Okay. So literally everything, guys, is going AI, robotic, in the world we're in right now. What is this? Also, the trees in North Carolina, I've been watching the videos of that coming in today. The decimation of the trees from the hurricane is just incredible, along with the ultimate fire hazards that's going to be coming out. So among all the other developments going on in the Carolinas, the trees that have been damaged, destroyed, that will have, and leaving the area basically barren up there, and the issues that are going to come out of that alone as well. So I've seen the videos over on Fox Weather, and this one I'm looking at right now is Elk Mountain, North Carolina. Just a total wasteland of some of the trees up there. So I wanted to give you the quick update, guys, on our YouTube platform tonight. Get you caught up. We've been doing this for about an hour and a half now. This is kind of the nightly update that I got for you on today's news. Beyond that, the Dow was up a little bit today. Up, let's see, I can't read it. 200 points. I can't tell. S&P was up 15 points. Nasdaq was down a little bit today. Gold. The other thing too, guys, is gold and silver has been up. Let me look at the silver. Haven't looked at that in a while. As soon as I can pop it up. See if I can. 33. So silver has been doing, I talked about this the other day, that we had seen silver not gone. I mean, I think 2011 or 12 was like the last time it kind of went up, but it's been going back up again. I don't know if we'll reach the $40 mark by the end of the year or early next year or not, but remember the all-time high that I talked about the other day back in 1980 with the Hunts brother when it was $50 an ounce. So that was the all-time high since 1980, 44 years ago. And so we're closing in on those marks now, but again, silver 33.66. It's been hovering around the $33 to $34 mark the last week or so. And again, gold's been up, closing in. I think it got up to 2,800 recently, back down a little bit. Oil's down $3 down today, $67.97. Again, the Bitcoin has finally popped back up 70,000. So we'll see. It's going back and forth, but it was in the certainly has been progressing upward lately with Bitcoin on the move back up. So I'm looking through tonight's, guys, and everything else for the most part is fairly quiet. I don't have any breaking news to tell you about in the Middle East at the moment. Nothing is broken out. So it's relatively quiet at the moment. We do believe, again, just to recap, that that Israel is planning to attack Iran again. Things are getting set up for another strike. We don't know when it'll be. We will be here when it happens, though, and keep you updated. So everything is still, don't think that this is just, everything's gone away, nothing's going to happen. We still think that there'll be some other development. Plus, Iran has vowed for a response in some fashion or another. So with that in mind, guys, I'm going to wrap this up on YouTube for tonight. And then please join us for the remainder of the night over on Twitch and Rumble. I always have to make sure I get the ones right here because brain freezes up after a while, but you get the idea. And yeah, Jerry's right. Yeah, I'll sign off on YouTube and then something will pop off, which has happened sometimes. Sometimes I've literally signed off too quick and boom, and I have to bring us back, but not at the moment. Okay, guys. Thanks again, everybody, for watching us on YouTube. Good to see you again, Hilly, Bing John, and Oliver Blue on YouTube. I can see you guys tonight. Plus, how many of you all? 93 on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much for watching us. I'm going to sign us off on YouTube. I will be back with you all tomorrow night. Again, thanks, everybody, for your support. Thank you so much for keeping the channel going. We made our goal. I really appreciate it. I'm very appreciative And I'll be back with you all tomorrow for another report, okay? So stay tuned. The rest of us over on Rumble and Twitch, I'll be back with you in just a minute. See you guys in a little bit.